Hey guys, it's Kelsey and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Anastasia Beverly Hills brand new eyeshadow palette, and it is called Prism. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. Most of you guys who are like beauty junkies like me probably already heard of this palette. It hit me by surprise. I didn't know that they were working on a new palette, so I'm really like kind of scared that it could possibly be the same formula as Subculture. If you guys don't know about Subculture, I will leave that down below, but it was an eyeshadow palette that Anastasia came out with last, and it really kind of sucked ass. So Prism almost reminds me of Subculture just because it's that kind of palette with like the weird non-cohesive colors. So let's just get into it. Today I'm going to be going over the entire palette with you guys, and I will put the shadows on the eyes. So my first impression, the box feels like pretty heavy and big. I wonder if this palette is bigger than the rest. It's got a nice kind of, little prism. You see what they did there? And it's like a nice kind of matte black package, which I like. So let's go ahead and open the cardboard. And again, on the back of the palette, it does show you the colors, so that if you're like looking in store, you can look at the colors without having to open the palette. Okay, so this is what the packaging of the palette itself looks like. It's a nice, luxurious black velvet with gold writing. In my opinion, this is definitely the most sophisticated, like nice packaging they have had so far. I just dropped it. Alright, so it does come with a brush. We'll get to that later. Let's go ahead and take a look at the colors. So these are the colors in the palette. As you guys can see, they're really not that cohesive. We've got some pastels. We've got a lot of shimmer. It's a very interesting kind of incohesive palette. And of course, that scares me because I wonder just how many looks I can get just using this palette, kind of like Subculture. It was kind of weird. This is actually almost more incohesive than Subculture. It's a very interesting palette. Like the gold, this blue, this dark indigo, a bronze, and a silver, those are all shimmers. Oh, as well as a light green and kind of like a cool toned purpley blue. And then the matte, we've got a brown, a brick, another really similar and just more cool toned brown, a yellow cream, and like a salmon color and a green. Those are our matte shades. So it is a very, very unique palette. So let's swatch a couple of them and then let's see what we can come up with on the eyes, okay? So the first one I really want to swatch is Osiris. It's this nice kind of indigo metallic shade. Well, shimmery metallic. Okay, it looks pretty good on my finger. Okay, that's a great swatch. That's a really good swatch. It's actually an interesting formula. I feel like I haven't kind of felt a formula like this in a long time. I do see some shimmer in there. There are some purple kind of glitters, which I'm a little bit worried about. Let's see. I'm going to do External, which is like the more coppery, shimmery shade. I'm really drawn to these shimmery shades. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's beautiful. I'll show you the swatches close up when I'm done. Wow. So now, here we go. Usually this is where the letdown comes in, is when we swatch a matte shade. I'm going to do Lure, which is kind of like a cool toned brown. It feels very soft on the finger. It actually looks pretty good. So let's see. Wow, that's actually one of the best matte swatches I've seen in a while. While it isn't the most pigmented thing in the world, it's not patching up. It's smooth, and that's something I really appreciate from a matte shadow. Next, I'm going to go in with Sphere, which is the green, bright green matte shade. Ooh. Let me give it another layer. Okay, that's honestly, guys, if you look at that swatch, it's not bad for a matte, bright shade. Like, it's very difficult to get a creamy, matte, bright shade. Here are the swatches up close. Okay, so I'm taking a look at the shadows, trying to figure out where I'm going to begin. And it's looking like the only shade that I can really begin with is the shade Unity right here. It's like the only neutral matte shade. That's not too dark, but it is really light. My eyes are primed and set. I'm taking the AOA Studio E101 flat brush, and I'm taking that shade Unity, and I'm going to apply it all over my lid. As you guys can probably see already, it is very yellow, and that's fine with me. I'm going to coat my lid. There is decent fallout again, but that's just kind of the way Anastasia shadows are. Okay, so I've coated my entire lid in that shade Unity. It just kind of brightened up my lid space a little bit more, and that's kind of all I can say right now. It looks like it's got some good coverage to it, but I can't really tell you about how it blended out since it was so similar to my lid shade, but let's just keep rolling. I like it though. Like, I could wear my eyes like this. I think this shadow kind of brightens up your lid rather than wearing no eyeshadow. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the brush. So it is, I think, the same exact brush that comes with all of the palettes. Don't mind my dirty foundation covered nails, but this is what the brush looks like. I'm gonna go in with Saturn with the fluffy side of the brush. Wow. There is not that much fallout on Saturn. You guys can see a lot comes on my brush, but there's not a lot of fallout. So maybe they did start working on that a little bit, but there is a lot of excess. I'm going to take the shade and I'm going to start working it into the crease area, focusing on the outer half of the eye. I like to use the palettes that come with the brush in these videos so that you guys can be like, okay, I can get that same exact look type thing, whereas I normally might not use these brushes. I think the brush is a little bit scratchy on my eye. Okay, this is a beautiful shade. It is extremely pigmented. I really like the pigment of it. I think the brush is having a little bit of trouble blending. I really don't think it's the shadow. I think it's because the brush is so scratchy. I'm going in with the same brush and the shade Eden. Eden is like a little bit of a lighter pink. And I'm going to take that and I'm just going to blend this out even more. And it's going to give us a little bit of dimension. And we're going to have that nice light pink kind of peeking out above the darker kind of orange. Really nice. Really nice. I'm struggling so hard, you guys, because what I want to do is I want to take Sphere, the yellow, and I want to smash it onto my eyes and make it like a bright pink and green kind of tutorial. But I also don't want to ruin it. There's actually a lot of things that I can do. So I just want you guys to keep this in mind. I'm going to show you a little bit of the way my work process is with this palette. So I immediately think that I could take Sphere, that green shade, and make this a pop art look. Or you could go in with Eternal and you could make this a beautiful kind of neutral pinky bronze look. Or you can literally go in with Sphinx, the bronze brown shade, pop that in the center. I'm going to just touch a little bit of Sphere onto my lid because I just want to see how well it stands out. Oh, wow. Okay, so now that you guys see that that could work out, I actually think I'm going to go for something a little more neutral just because of, like, what I'm going to be doing today. But I really think you can do a lot with this shade. So what I've decided to do is take a Sigma E55 shader brush and take Eternal. It would look really good, though, to keep it light like this. It really makes your eyelashes pop. But I feel the urge to do this. Okay, this shimmer is very subtle and very, very beautiful and easy to wear. I'm going to go back in with Saturn and just kind of deepen up the crease. I'm going to take a little bit of Lure, and I'm taking that on the dense side of the brush, and I'm going to start stamping this towards the lash line and outer corner and just kind of deepen up this area. Then what I'm going to do is take Lure and kind of drag that down under the lash line on the bottom. I'm taking some of Saturn on a small tapered blending E45 brush, and I'm going to blend out the lower lash line. I'm just going in again with that pink shade, and I'm just blending out the top. Now I'm going in with a touch of Eternal, just a touch to kind of hit on the center of my lid and make sure that that's really popping. I'm going to take a little bit of Lucid, which almost looks like a green tinted white, but it's the only really shade I could use to highlight my inner corner, so let's just see what it looks like. Okay, it definitely looks green, but like that's all we really have. Okay guys, so that's the look that I came up with. It doesn't necessarily go with my lip color that great, but I do like the shadows so far. They definitely blend out like normal shadows. They might not be the best shadows in the world, but they're definitely not like Subculture. Subculture palette literally ruins my makeup because those shadows just patch up and they won't blend, and it's ridiculous. This is not like that palette, so don't be afraid. They seem really nice to blend out. They've got nice pigment to them. I will have to play around a little bit more with the palette, but looking at this palette, it's definitely not a palette that I would run to often to create looks because it is so unique. It's more so a palette that I would pull a couple bold colors from to go in with a look. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will do my best to answer you as fast as possible. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe. I do lots of makeup reviews on my channel, as well as makeup tutorials, fashion videos, everything. Thank you so much for you who is watching and listening to this, for taking the time to watch my video. It means a lot to me, you know, little home slices. That's what I was gonna say. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys down below. Bye.